Hello, this is my website for Unit 28, Assignment 4, Website Implementation that I have designed and implemented. So the first page that we're going to talk about is called the home page. The home page contains this navigation bar and is the only one page that contains this bar because the navigation system of my website is that it'll contain one web page will contain a navigation bar, and that will act as the master navigation page where, for example, let's say you want to go on to top 10s, but then you want to go on to recommendation, you will need to back out into the home page, and then you'll need to go click on the recommendation. The contents of the home page contains images that I've found using Google Image, and I've also implemented using the image tag, where I've also sourced where the image comes from. Over here, we have the text boxes that's been formatted using CSS, so that the text looks as how it appears as how it is now. On top of that, the text also contains two interactive features, which when clicked, will increase the size of the text. The reason I've chosen this interactive feature is so that it helps my website comply with W3C practice standards, which will aid visually impaired users. So it makes it so that most of everyone can be able to use my website. If you want to reset the size of the text, you can click this button to reset it. Now on to the next page, which is the top 10s, or the main focus of my website. As you can see, the content of the page is formatted using CSS to look like a top 10s list, with each content containing the option to scale up and down the text for sizes. This feature will be available to all web pages that have texts, again, to help comply with W3C standards. It will also contain the images and the audio player, which allow the user to play videos using the audio player. As you can see, we can scale up the text, and we can also play soundtrack files that I've implemented using the audio tag. So, for example, as you can see, by clicking the play button, we can play the song of the game. We can also set the sound, and we can also set when the audio will play. Like the images, I had to source the sound files so that the website will create a video player that will play the sound file. Okay. And next on is the recommendations list. The recommendations is an example of a web page that will have more than one choice to navigate to. As you can see, recommendations can navigate to underrated classics and vice versa. The reason why I've chosen this is because some of the web pages, like recommendation underrated classics, for example, will have similar design to each other, hence why they have links to each other. So, for example, recommendations has a comment of the content of the page, the content itself being two images on the size of the content, a piece of text, as well as the buttons to increase or decrease the size of the text, with 4 contents total. If we go to Underrated Classics, Underrated Classics also has a comment page, comments on the content, 2 images, the text itself, the option to scale up or down the text, and total 4 contents. The next website we're going to talk about is the Greatest Consoles, which again has another option to see the greatest video game characters page. So the content of the Greatest Console is comment on the content, as well as the name of the console, an image of the console, as well as the text describing why the console is well known, as well as a feature to increase and decrease the size of the text. So that's the web page itself. And then the greatest video game characters has a similar design to best console page, which has a comment on the content, as well as the name of the character, the image of a character, as well as the option to size up the text, and the text explaining why the character is the best. So as you can see, this is the page. And the final page is the contact us page, which contains not only the option to scale up the text, but also this form, which we'll go into a bit more detail about. So on this page, it contains two text boxes that basically describe how you can email me for suggestions, questions, or ideas about the website, as well as my email address that you can send my email should the user wish to email me by manually. This text box just further details what you can email me about, such as criticism or to add extra pieces of information and the like. Now, the main feature of the Contact Us page is this form, which is designed so that you can input your value that you can input in values. So, for example, in the name input, we can type in my name, email. We'll type in my email, and the comments. Let's say the website is good but lacks detail. As you can see here, once you're happy, you can simply press the send button, and the browser will open up this alert, which will say that the form is going to submit as an email. Click OK to bring up the email, so that it is a new email ready to be sent to me. Though the subject you'll need to talk about, you'll need to input, as well as the message you'll have to input again. And then to reset it back to its default settings, you can press the reset button to reset it back. So that is my website in its entirety.